It's amazing. It is amazing. Of course, just like she was saying, in anything you do, you should be an example, but not be an example for abuse, because abuse people definitely they are
good and bad example. So be a good example.
It's not going to be a good thing. Now we're going to continue with our conversation, but before we ride on, of course, you would have noticed there is some new person on set. I mean, they don't really suppress me, but on level, I say, not bring another.
Back up.
Yeah, we're going to welcome him on this Truth Health podcast. One of the amazing business people we have here in Cameroon, in the name of Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you're welcome to this podcast. He's also a father and a husband, and of course, we're going to have a lot to say when it comes to abuse in relationships. Maybe it only abuse or they only abuse it, but we'll definitely get a chance to hear that. Chili Wawaye, thank you very much for taking us through this amazing transition. And to continue, we are going to be talking a lot more about why people stay in abusive relationships. Now they don't finish abuse you, they don't do every bad thing when they don't do for you, or they don't finish abuse person. Well, let's stick together. But before we do that, maybe we hear from Emmanuel if you've been in an abusive relationship before.
No, I don't think so. Lucky enough, I haven't been in anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe that what's happening in abusive relationship is around the mind. And it's a lot of mentality. So how people perceive relationship, why you get into a relationship, what's the foundation? I think that's what makes people stick to. For instance, you have some ladies who come from a poor family and then some rich guy picks you out of poverty and they become the breadwinner of the family. And tomorrow you're going through hell, and every time you go back to complain to your parents, they say that this guy allows you are doomed for. So you realize that sometimes the lady sticks not because she really wants to be there, but because she's like the pillar of the family.
Yeah. Make it come on there. I mean, the family.
The family. Yeah. So you also have where there's also complex. Imagine a lady who's grown up to always be told you're not beautiful, you're not worth anything, you're useless, and then she stumbles on a man who says you're different. So the man comes with a speech which is quite different from what she heard. So she feels like okay, he's the only person who could tell me something nice. What if I leave? Who's going to give me that kind of word again? No matter even how he insults me, but like he's the only person. So it plays on that. So she feels like she's stuck. You see? And I heard a lot of people say it's cultural. So that's some cultures where beating it's like there's a flavor.
The salt, Maggi, green spices, and pepper.
I think beating, they feel like they need it because the truth is that unfortunately, women don't like gentlemen.
Wow. But
Please, say some.
can you, because
Let me expatiate.
Thank you.
Women don't appreciate. I'll say it, and when I expatiate, you get it.
Okay.
I like the way
On paper, the truth is, let me put for instance, on paper, every woman wants somebody who's nice, caring, understanding. But in reality, when they have that kind of person, it's boring. If you have a lady, who says if you have a guy, you're with a boyfriend who I want to go here. Okay. I'll be coming back late.
Okay.
Baby, I'm sorry. Okay. At a certain point, that should be like, what's happening here? Because she's expecting at a certain point that the guy should shout.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, no, I'm cool. Why? Okay, you apologize, I'm fine. And that's why I say most girls, as much as they aspire for gentlemen, they love the women fall for the adventures.
No, a gentleman with small shower vibe.
No, the truth is, that's what they want, but the truth is that. Let me put for instance.
Yes, that's all right.
The lady here has to be honest. Look at the way. Let's take it from the beginning. When the guy is asking a lady out, the guys who are always very carefree are the ones who actually keep something deep in the ladies than the ones who are always very gentle. For instance, when the guy meets a lady and says, "Master, if you say, get up," that girl go back and should be angry. And should be wondering why this guy does not fall for her if everybody is falling for her. And she becomes curious and want to know why is this guy. But a guy who comes and says, you're the princess, it's deja vu. So in general, ladies always get curious. On paper, they want a prince charming. But in reality, they like the adventure. And so when they get in there, when they begin to enjoy the ambience, they stick to it. So the truth is, violence in the relationship is more of in the mind.
Okay, I think you're making sense. I have a very nice story I'll tell, but before I say that, I need to hear from Madam Greenberg. Why do people stay in abusive relationships? I really want to know because I'm trying to learn. So that maybe I can see where I'll come up from my own argument.
First things first, June is not in any abusive relationship. June is well taken care of. The man is being pampered, sees beards. Had it been you were in a toxic relationship, the girl would have trimmed it off already. So your beard speaks volumes already. Okay, so June, why do people stay? Why, for example, me, you annoy me, I trim it.
Wow.
Aww. Strange, right? Okay, so why do people stay in abusive relationships? Let's first of all talk about the financial aspect. Second, we'll talk about a low self-esteem. Let me begin with the financial aspect. Why do most women, I'll focus on women because he focused on women and gentlemen, so let me focus on ladies. Now, most women want to stay in abusive relationships because they know that this man gives them money. No matter how he beats me, no matter how he kicks me, no matter how he maltreats me, my monthly allowance is certain. He takes care of the kids, but he beats me. He takes care of me, but he still beats me. Most women will want to stay there because they know that, okay, if I leave this relationship and I meet a man who won't beat me, you're not beating me, you're not giving me money, there's no gain. So it's kind of a gain issue. That's why people stay in that relationship. Now, talking about low self-esteem, once you've met this man, no matter how the man traumatizes you, the man knows how to use his sweet words to still comfort you, to still tell you that, man, I'm beating you because I love you. And then with this low self-esteem, you feel like, okay, if I leave this relationship, all I go from there. If I leave this relationship, probably I won't meet another man. And now the age starts playing on them. Age is just a number. You see, when a woman reaches 30, a woman reaches 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, right to 40, you are in a relationship, you are being abused, you want to stay there because you know that, okay, if I leave this relationship, people will start saying, oh, you leave the man, say, which other man can take you for your old age? Women have gotten married at the age of 40, some even 50, and they're doing extremely well. Probably shit happened. shit happens, you could not get married at your early 20s or late 20s, and then you are getting into to your 35s or 40s, you just feel like it's over for you. No, it's not over for you. If you're in a toxic relationship, you are being abused, do not think it's the end of the world. If you leave this man, the same another man will come for you. You're still a queen. Let's learn to wear our crowns and walk out of most of these relationships. And then people want to stay in these relationships because of the kids. I always tell them, keep the kids out of this. If you die today in the cause of you being abused, you leave the kids to suffer. Probably another man comes in and then they maltreat the kids. The kids might even die too in the process. So if you're hanging in there because of your kids, just ask yourself this question: what if I die in the cause of this? What happens? If this man could maltreat me, if the man beats me like this and then I die tomorrow, another man comes in, the woman is hitting his kids, the man will probably stay him quiet. Because if he could beat the mother of his kids, he wouldn't even see the children as something. Some people really do not care. Once the beast in them rises, it takes over everything. So I think it's important for women to learn a trade. Because if you know, make use of your youthful energy. Most of us just want to live large. We just want to go for the already made things. Like Big Bro was saying here, most women, we want to go for the show guys. We want to go for the guys who can stand there, smoke shisha, who can talk, make noise. When you meet a calm man and then he walks up to you respectfully, the first thing is a very boring man. You are boring. I was kind of boring man in his corner. You meet a God-fearing man, the man is boring. It happens. Most ladies, you see a man, most of us want to judge a man based on his dressing. You see a man like Big Bro, he's like Pastor. You see a man like Jude, he's like Chief. Then you see somebody like Felix, he's dressed in his t-shirt, his nice shorts, his slides. I want Felix. That's the one you want because you've judged him based on his dressing. Whereas Big Bro too has the same things at home, but he decided to walk up to you to present the responsible part of him. Now we do not want to see the responsible part because we feel that behind the responsible aspect of Big Bro is one boring gentleman, a man you can just tell him, oh, I'm going out. Okay, man, go out. I'm coming back. You see this quiet man, this responsible guy. Don't joke with them.
Okay.
You see a guy who is, let me take for example my husband. Hi. My husband is a very nice man. We are going out. Okay. At what time will you return? 9 p.m. 3 minutes past 9. In fact, 9 p.m. you should be at home because you opened your mouth and said 9. If you stay after 3 minutes past 9, you have some explanations. And it's normal that you have to explain because you said 9 p.m. If you know that by 9 p.m. you won't be at home, tell him I'll be at home by 9:30 and he's okay. He's a kind of man, he will vibe, but he's a very quiet man. There's some things that he will just ignore. But trust me, one day he will present them to you. Sit quiet, let's talk about it. No, nothing like, you'll never meet him shouting. He will never shout. He will be saying it in a very calm way, in a very gentle way. But you're feeling the pain. Something you ignore for a very long time. The day he wants to present it to you, he's saying you're seeing something serious. But he's saying it in a very composed way, in a very friendly way, in a very quiet manner. Most women do not like this kind of way. They just want a man that will bang, shout, oh, man, why do this kind of thing? Oh, why come up night? And then neighbors start here and they already know that you see these two problem between this man and the woman. Don't put your mouth there because if you go for there, they'll surely pour water over your head.
If I should pick on both of you, but surely they can go silent how much a woman. Even though
no, do not. The issue is that's what women want. That's what women want.
I am learning around learn something from Mona too. And from where they are picking one of you and another one will check send but not pick on you too.
Okay, in reaction to what was being said, be a good man, a kind man, but be the man that you are able to strike at the right time.
That's true.
You should be able to strike. If you strike like thunder.
Okay.
But on the other part of you, yes.
Thunder from Oku.
So don't be that man that everything is just a normal thing. Even when you have to go crazy, you are still calm. You're still cool. Like it can really get wrong. So be a nice man, be a good man. But even the Bible says you should strike. At times you have to go violent. If not, I don't know, that chapter says heaven suffereth violence
And
the
Get it. King James Version, just be adding take it.
There are times that you have to take your power as a man with violence. That violence doesn't mean you should fight. You just need to maybe higher your voice and whatever. So, okay, adding to the point, she was already really complex, and the money part of it, where people get stuck in a relationship because of their low income capacity. I would also want to add that another point is hope for future change and hope for growth. You're with your classmate friend, you guys have been hooking up for some time, and things are not really showing up for him, and you still have hope. You believe that this your guy, he's intelligent, he's wise, he's a hustler, and you just have faith that one day he will make it. And you're going through the violence, you're supporting a lot of issues because you just hope that in the future he might be better. But what I want to say, if it gets so toxic that you might lose your life, money, run.
I think there's something I would like to add. You mentioned something about kids. Trust you me, it's very difficult to tell a mom to leave a relationship when they're kids.
That's the main issue.
It's easier to say, but trust you me, you cannot tell a woman to allow her kids and move. It's hard.
Yeah, it's difficult. That's why I said if you have your
No,
mind,
everything is that everything is.
because when people have done it.
When it gets really too much.
The point is, when you know it's too much, that's the problem. Sometimes the very first slap is the one that kills you.
Yes, and I think it ties with what I was going to say. Sometimes the reason why a lot of people stay in abusive relationships is because they're afraid of what might happen after they leave. Sometimes them leaving might, cause the man to go after them. So you're in a relationship with somebody, and then each time you want to leave, the person threatens you, and you're scared that if you leave, this person might actually do something to you. So what probably should happen later after you have left is also very, very important. It makes people to want to just be like, okay, let me stay in that abusive relationship. And just still in line with what you were saying, I think there is a possibility that most people who are very cool and nice to, good to go and nice looking, sometimes they get in very serious stress relationships because most people feel like they're already taken out. They struggle a lot to get a partner, and when they eventually get one, the partner is dealing with them, but they are not going to tell every other person. They're just like, even if I leave, I'm probably going to go through the same stress before I can get another partner. So
let me just
I feel like I should just stick to this one and then see what I can, be able to see what I can be able to make come out of this relationship. But we have said a lot. We have really exhausted so many points, and I believe that in subsequent editions and from comments we're going to have from our listeners and all, we can be able to, see how to push this topic further, because it's not just something that we can be able to exhaust in one day.
Yep.
We're going to have this conversation over and over, and in some day we might be able to have all the solutions that you were looking for. But before we leave, maybe just one very brief words from you, more of advice. Of course, people say, but what would you advise? Should somebody keep staying in an abusive relationship, or they should leave?
I think to those who are not married yet, I would say, know your partner. Take your time. Marriage is not a race. It's not an accomplishment. It's not an achievement. I always tell people, I've been married for a while now, but it's a whole new ball game. Yeah. So it's not a rush. Whether you're getting married at 40 or 50, just be sure about what you're going to. That's the first thing. 2, put communication in your relationship. And ladies, the physical part is that when it comes to ladies, more of the physical part. Ladies know when to shut up. Sometimes keeping your mouth quiet doesn't mean that you're wrong. You need to be able to sense the atmosphere and know when to disappear. Now, ladies, in order for the men, know what to say to your man, because being abusive is the two-way round. Yeah. Ladies, when you know your man, you know his ego, you know where you can prick his ego. Be cautious about it. Because every man, what he takes home at the end of the day, a man can go out and be insulted, he can take it. But in his kingdom, that's where it becomes complicated. They can insult him how to be an idiot and a foolish man, but when he comes from comes from within again, that's the wife again is calling you a foolish man, then he's now a complete failure. So know what to say when you're angry, because women, they don't communicate. I feel like women don't communicate to pass a message when they're angry. They communicate to hurt you when they're angry. So know what to say and also know when not to say. I think when you're already in that relationship, while you're trying to save your head, you need to be wise. You need to know, as I have a husband who comes and the least thing I say, he gets mad. Once the temperature is going down, just calm down and leave it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that is a very nice way forward. So, what do you think, ma'am?
All right, Jude, we cannot tackle this topic without looking at the root cause. Now, in most cases, once you're still in courtship, pay attention to details. Don't just get into a relationship. You're dating this person, you focus on the good sides of the person, and then you ignore some of the small issues. You look at how this person manage crisis. When you have an issue, how does he react to small issues? Now, if you see somebody with anger management issues, most of these things starts in courtship, but we choose to ignore, telling ourselves, okay, I'll get married to this man and he will change. The man will not change because you're married. The ring will not make him change. He will change when he wants to change. So if you're in a relationship, you sense that this man is an abusive man. You sense that this man has issues with anger management. If you know that you won't continue this together forever journey with such a person, it's better you quit. Because once you get in there, it's difficult for you to walk out. So we should pay attention to some of these red flags. Pay attention to details. If you see a violent man, you will know. From the things I say, the things I do, you will know. But we see them, we choose to ignore. So I think it's time for us to pay attention to most of these details. If you see it and you tell yourself, okay, if I'm to live with him for 30 years, I will accept him. It's cool. Get married to the man. But if you know that the next 30, 20, or even 10 years, you cannot contain an abusive man, you cannot contain a man with anger management issues, Mama, run when you still have the time to run. Run, oh, no look back.
Yeah, so, I mean, what would you say as advice, of course?
Yes, as advice, I would say you also have to check on the background story or history of the partner in which you want to get into a serious relationship with. Because someone who comes from a family where the father used to beat the mother or probably killed the mother out of violence, I think the child or the children might probably, so always go deep and seek for information. I see relationship, a serious relationship, like a project. The way you take a project so serious that you look for consultant, you discuss with people, you want to invest. That is how a serious relationship is to me. You have to go, you have to seek for knowledge, seek for people who have been into it. Let them give you both advice and most importantly, don't start praying to God when everything is shattered. Take your relationship, even commit it into God's hands before, not after. Because before you must have lost a lot of things, age must have weighed you out, you know, regrets and stuff. So take it before the Lord, pray, discern, and God will probably direct you to that right person. Because the Bible says, he who findeth the wife, and when the Bible says a wife, is not any wife, a good wife, a wife who is a blessing to your family, a wife who is a partner that you can communicate with. He who finds such a wife findeth a good thing. So that means for you to really get a perfect wife, go back to the Most High. Thank you.
And that makes a lot of sense. And because this topic is not just our topic, it is the topic for us and also for our amazing viewers and listeners, we are going to just throw this to you. We have been talking about why people stay in abusive relationships, and we're looking at advice or the way forward, where how people can be able to maybe leave or stay in it and repair. We are going to be following comments very steadily and ensuring that we can also grab one or two to add to what we've been able to say here. They have said so much, I have nothing more to say, but I must tell you that everything they said here is true, even though it hurts, but it must be spoken. See you again in the next edition, and definitely we'll be here to give you juice. Take care and cheers. True nerds.